Hey YouTube, today I'm going to do a cooking video. Today I'm going to make tablet. It's a sweetie, candy to Americans, traditionally Scottish, very tasty, very sugary, and I'm going to make some haggis parcels. Scottish anyway, with haggis in it, but yeah, I'm going to show you. Stand by. Now first up we've got the fairly simple haggis parcels to make. You'll need haggis. I recommend using fresh. Unfortunately I don't have fresh haggis as I'm skint. So I've got tinned haggis, not my favourite stuff, and phyllo pastry. These are the thin sheets that they make wontons and such like out of. Yeah, there you go. I'll show you the equipment in a second. If you're wondering what those two things are in the background, hot dog machine, and it's a slushy maker. Okay, and what else you need is a pastry cutter. It can be any size. I'm going to make this size is probably about the best size, just for cutting out the holes in the phyllo pastry. Okay, let's begin. Oh, and by the way, I forgot the most important ingredient of all. Jack Daniels. And a glass. Most important equipment you'll need, full stop. The reason being, you need a drink when you cook. Simple as that. Now, as you can see, phyllo pastry is fairly thin. Excuse me. So, you take your cutter, cut out a circle. Okay, or cut out several. Unfortunately my phyllo pastry is kind of split there. That's how it came out the package. Gotta make sure it's cut nice and thick, nicely. Or at least cut, you piece of fish. Ah dear. Right. Okay, just a couple of circles. And watch as I fail completely. However, do not worry, all it is not lost. As you can see, I've created a few of these pastry circles. Those first ones that I fucked up, nothing went wrong with them. They were all good, just had to cut them some more. And don't worry about the spoils, because I plan to do something with that later on. Anyway, moving on. On to the haggis. Here we go. It looks about as appetizing as my backside here because it's come out the tin. And what a struggle that was. What we're going to do is, we're going to put it to a medium heat and gently warm it up. I also want to set our ovens to about 190 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Figure it out for yourselves. You're online after all. You can easily find a converter like I can. Yeah. Quick amendment. Make that 160 degrees. And 190 as I first had. Okay. Okay, so your haggis is cooked. Now what are we going to do? We're going to get ready with the phyllo parcels bit. Now what you're going to do is take one of the layers, take a pastry brush, dip it in some oil, just a wee bit now mind, you just want to lightly brush, and you just want to lightly brush the phyllo pastry, which I cannot do holding this camera, so yeah, I'll get back to you once it's... What I've done here is I've gone and put 4 layers, 3 circles interlocking and one in the middle. I've oiled them all with olive oil. What we're going to do now is bring these ends up so that the haggis is in the middle. Okay, I can't do that while holding the camera, so down it goes again. Now as you can see, we have our nice wee parcel, all nicely folded up. It's not burst through the bottom. So if you repeat that for however many you want to make, and then we'll stick it in the oven when it's ready. Okay. So take a greased tray, place your parcels on it. This is all I made. The rest of the haggis I'll eat for my lunch. And then get ready to stick them in the oven. Remember, it's preheated to 160 degrees. And cook for 25 minutes. So here we are, fresh out the oven. As you can see, they're all browned off. There's a lot of heat coming off them, I can tell you that. And you'll notice some clear juices coming out. That's from the oil and the fat in the haggis, but still not burst through. Hot. What we're going to do now is let them cool a bit, and what I'm going to do to show you they're good is hijack a couple of my neighbours. Okay. Okay, I couldn't find any neighbours nearby. I'm the only one that could, for good reasons, so I didn't ask him. So I'll give you a taste test. Though whether you take the word of me or not is an important thing. Now, these would be served with sauce, usually whiskey and onion or something like that. I couldn't be arsed making that. So what I've done instead is I've used a spicy tomato sauce. The spicy tomato sauce really helps take away from the blandness of tinned haggis. If it was fresh haggis, I would not be using a sauce, because fresh haggis is delicious. But these really work. They're really tasty. And if you're feeling up to it, folks, you can go a wee bit extra in making haggis neeps and tatty parcels. Neeps being turnips, and tatties being potatoes. Mash them up, mash up some neeps, tatties, put them on top layers on the phyllo pastry. Very tasty. Okay, so now on to tablet, that traditional Scottish sweetie. And what you'll need is a kilo of sugar, granulated, about £2 worth for Americans. A tin of condensed milk. Doesn't have to be Nestle's Carnation milk, but just as long as it's condensed. Milk. I usually use whole milk, but we've only got semi-skimmed in the house, so there we go. Butter. Actually, I've got some proper butter. Hold on. Where the hell did that proper butter go? So it turns out I don't have proper butter like I thought. It's been binned by some bastard. So I've got vegetable spread instead. Does the job just as well. Well, butter adds more flavour, of course, and some vanilla essence. Okay. Now that's just to flavour it at the end. However, I'm not going to use that because I've been told about a separate recipe using ginger to make ginger flavoured tablet. Now I would recommend you use vanilla, and you're going to use about half a bottle in the tablet. But what I'm going to do is use ginger instead. Okay. I should add the most important ingredient I need is my great grand's recipe book. It's been passed down generations. You can see how old it is. And this is what gives me the recipe for tablet. It's most awesome. Anyway, equipment you'll need: electric whisk. Mine is a Kenwood from about the 70s, so it's about 40 years old. Okay. And you'll also need a pan. Now you want a nice big sturdy pan. Sugar boils very quickly, and believe me, the first time I tried to make tablet, I had a small pan and it boiled over, and there's still evidence of it in the oven which I've not been able to scrape off. So big pan, good. Okay, on. Remember folks, preparation is key. Tablet's very hands-on. You will not have time to grease a baking tray afterwards, so make sure you have a greased baking tray ready to begin at the very start. Okay. I should add here that tablet is a very hands-on recipe. You cannot leave it alone for a second. So if I seem to be struggling with the camera, that's because I cannot leave the tablet alone. You have to be beside it all the time. It's very dull, but the end result is awesome. So first up, we're going to melt butter in the pan. Take a fairly large dollop. I'm not going to give you a more scientific way of saying it, because quite simply, a large dollop does the job. And the recipe's old. So we're going to melt this butter in the pan. Hopefully it'll go fairly quickly. So you've melted your butter. What are you going to do now? Well, I'll tell you. You're going to add your milk in. Okay, and try not to spill it on the recipe book like I've just done. Thank God I've written this in another book somewhere. Okay, adding your milk in, and you're going to add in your sugar. So, as I struggle with this, yes folks, that's all the sugar. Now you want 2 pounds, a kilo's roughly 2 pounds, give or take a few grams. So there we go. You want that in there. Nice to know how sugary this is, eh? Any dentist watching? I'm sorry, you're going to get a lot of work from kids eating this. Looks tasty, doesn't it, eh? Well, we'll leave that to bring to the boil, because what we want to do is bring this to the boil. And it'll happen very quickly, because like I say, sugar boils extremely fast. Plus I've got it on high heat. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's the sound of sugar boiling, or beginning to boil. And I can tell you now, this smells good. Also, if you plan to make tablet with children, be warned, sugar gets very hot. Very, very hot. Very, very quickly. You've been warned. Now, because I wasn't told when, I'm going to add my ginger in now. I'll really add the flavour. Add to the flavour, bastards and stuff. Good strong flavour in there. It may seem like I'm adding a lot, but I'm not. I'm having trouble getting the fucking stuff out the shaker. And we'll stir that in. I really want to sneeze now because that went everywhere. Stir that ginger in, folks. Notice how liquid it's become. Don't forget, folks, the most important ingredient, alcohol. It's Jack and Coke I've got there. I've had enough time to refill it. Oop. We're starting to see the first signs. Get ready folks, because this will happen fast. I'd say chemical alterations are happening here. Okay. Now that we're boiling, you want to set your times, because it's the most important thing, and you want to stir for 5 minutes after boiling. Constantly, by the way. You do not let off. I'll figure out a way to speed this up. It smells so good. Okay, the steam's starting to fog up the camera, so I'm just going to stop this until the next thing I have to do, okay? Please be careful of any bubbles that's making stuff spurt out, because sugar is hotter than water when it's boiling. And it will scar a lot worse. And it's also sticky, which is a bastard to get out your clothes. So please be careful. Okay, 5 minutes has passed. What you're going to do now is very quickly add in the condensed milk. All of it, the entire tin. Yes, I know. It's a very, very sugary sweetie. So is it all in there? If you want it all in. Okay. And once it's in, start stirring. Oh shit. See, that's the problem when you stop stirring for so long and you try and do this by holding shit. It's burnt the fucking pan. Ah, fuck balls. Oh well, crunchy bits. See, that's why you should never stop stirring the fucking pot. Fuck beans. Anyhow, I'll carry on to show you how to make the rest of this fucking stuff. So you're going to keep on constantly stirring for a good 10-15 minutes. In case you were wondering, those little brown bits that were in my stuff, it's just burnt sugar. Unfortunately, when I stopped adding the condensed milk, and I was also holding on to the camera, I stopped stirring for 2 seconds, and that's what happens. So really, never stop stirring once you start it. Obviously I had difficulties using the camera at the same time, so I don't have a tripod for it. But anyway, your stuff should be looking like this during this stage when you've had the condensed milk. Golden brown, smelling really nice, boiling dangerously close to the lip of your pan, because it will expand. This is why I said don't use a small pan. I'm going to carry on though with the burnt bits. Like I said, extra crunchy bits in it. because I know it's just the sugar and there's nothing wrong really. And yeah, just carry on. Never give up. Just make sure you get that in your head. Never stop stirring this bastard in thing. Okay dokes. If you need to reduce your heat, because it will, if it gets too close to the lip, reduce the heat. It's not a problem, it will still boil. It's just a bastard when it gets too close. I mean, it's gotten really close. I don't know if you can see there. That's not from my stirring, that's from the sugar rising. Anyway, it'll get stiff. This will get stiff, and I've still got 5 minutes of stirring to go. So I think anyone can see that. Oh, you bastard, that's my phone. It can wait. Okay, if your tablet looks like this, it's probably because you've burnt it like I have. However, what you're going to do now is remove it from the heat, because voila, you're done with the stirring bit. And what you're going to do now is whisk it for 5 minutes. And I really wish I could show you that, but I can't. So it's just going to be close. This. Oh, I guess I can show you. Just going to be this for 5 minutes, folks. Okay, and keep it up. Do not stop. I should add, before you whisk, add in your half bottle of vanilla essence. Just before you whisk. Okay, folks? As you can see, it's coming along nicely. Sorry about the noise, but the whisk makes it. And the faster you whisk it, the better it aerates. Which is when you basically using your whiskers to aerate. I've got this in the top setting. Yeah. And as you can see, all my burnt bits have been whisked into the mix. It's all good. And usually it's testing already. Oh my god! So my 5 minutes are up. So what I do now is pour it into the tin. Slowly taking the whisk down so I don't lose anything. I'll keep that for later because that makes good eats. Shit. When I'm not dripping it all over the place. Good, all the bits are off. Okay, so now we just pour the bugger in. Get all the cables out the way. And it shouldn't pour nice and easy, see? Ah, shut up. Just pouring it in. Now as you can see, this is going to set well because it's already set in the pan, which is what happens when you've got a good tablet. However, this is what you're left with. A tub that's full Instead of this golden brown stuff. And believe me, that is fucking hot. So you've got this here, and you're just going to leave it to set. Now it takes a couple hours to set, so I can't get a taste test for you today, but that's okay. I should add, parents, after it, do not give your children the spoon to eat, as sugar will be hot at least until about half an hour later, depending on how much there is. So give it half an hour at least to dry up, to cool down. Okay. Anyway folks, that's me signing out. I'm going to eat these and make this video properly now. See ya!